It's been a long week for Hytale fans, as many are waiting for Riot Games to announce some sort of revival or sale of the IP to Simon Hypixel, and whilst the chances do seem slim, he has continued to tweet a lot about it. Plus, for those people who want a similar experience to Hytale, there may still be some options on the table, even if Simon might not agree with them all, because when a user posted a video of an attempt to recreate the game, they said, "It seems like people are getting really good at making Hytale," with one user responding, "Anyone can make something look like anything. It needs to play and feel as the thing it imitates. It needs to perform the same in order for it to be considered an achievement. For now, this just looks a little like Hytale, but even I could whip this up." Ex-CEO Simon doubled down on this, stating, "Yep, any suggestions to use another game or engine is out of touch with what Hytale is supposed to be. Most people don't even know or remember why we made Hytale in the first place. They only see the surface level of Hytale and don't understand all the early decisions, direction, and vision. I'll give you guys something to think about. Why was the server written in Java for Hytale?" He continues that sometimes it's as simple as it sounds. Hypixel server is the best minigame server and has a lot of developers ready to help on Java. It was an easy transition for everyone involved. Also, the Minecraft server / modding ecosystem is massive, a very specific hiring pool with a ton of dedicated developers. That was, of course, before Roblox and everything got as massive as it is today. Someone said, "This is one of the things that stands out about the original vision to me. From all that I've seen, it feels like a Minecraft mod team building the tools they wish they always had." And Simon said, "Bingo, it was the dream platform for us, and to build a game with it and share those tools / the platform to other players to make content." One person then followed up saying, "Isn't this like one of the biggest points? You wanted to make your dreams come true, stuff you didn't have control over in Minecraft, and go even beyond that with all the custom tools and access that you were going to give the players." Simon then followed up confirming, "Yeah, we noticed an increase in Minecraft updates and friendliness towards servers after Hytale was announced. The Hypixel server is slowly transitioning to newer versions of Minecraft now because of it. Competition is good. Hytale was an overall net positive for the ecosystem." He is right too, the gap between what Minecraft is and what Hytale promised has become a lot smaller. There's still plenty you can't do with Minecraft, but look at the marketplace, some of the live projects we see today, Mojang being more receptive to creator tools in general. We know that Hytale had a lot of those tools in the first engine, so when asked about why they didn't just stick to what they know with minigames rather than going the whole way with creating a massive game, Simon said, quote, "We have been doing minigames for a long time, so it's an easy thing for us. I would argue that the game would have been released already if it was just minigames first." And I think by this he means that the team at the time wanted to take on more of a challenge, because creating an adventure world and a number of other areas besides multiplayer was their vision for a platform. Simon also confirms that they did experiment with the idea of proximity chat back in 2017 before the trailer. Quote, "I was a big believer in this feature. Recently I see Roblox and Fortnite went with it. It's almost like the early vision was actually going in the right direction." It's crazy, isn't it? If Hytale had been launched when it really should have been, we would be talking about a game ahead of its time. But now, well, someone said, and Simon replied, "Yeah, I feel like it kind of missed the opportunity. Lots of great unique features are now common in many other games." Speaking of other games, the big news adding on to this is that developers of both Reforj by Forge Studios, the creators of Minecraft Console Edition, and Vintage Story, a game created by someone who left the Hytale team early on to go in a different direction, have both commented publicly on Hytale's cancellation. Reforj said, quote, "Truly terrible news from our friends at Hypixel Studios. We have always admired their amazing contribution to the Minecraft community, and we loved the ambition of Hytale. Reforj looks like an interesting game in of itself, to be honest, still in very early development, but it does have OG Minecraft creator Stampy Longnose working on the team. And whilst the style is perhaps a bit too curvy for some, it may turn out to be a very promising project on its own." Then on the more extreme end, Vintage Story, again being from an ex-Hytale dev called Tyron, who worked on the team way back in 2015, has been more direct in their statements. First, posting an update on their official website stating Hytale fans are welcome here, and very importantly that he, quote, "openly invites everyone left unsatisfied by this news to try out the game, and that their team has also been very excited for Hytale for a long time." He states that while his game Vintage Story does come off as difficult to many people, it also comes with customization options that help you to reduce that. Then he openly invites ex-Hytale developers and passionate fans with modding experience to join his team as they want to create a whole new mode. He says, "We can put together a small sub-project within our team of developers to bring out an additional game mode for Vintage Story that can at least in part deliver on the vision of what Hytale set out to become. I could picture this as a mostly independent work group developing a new playstyle, or an external team that uses our extensive modding API with funding from us." If you didn't know, Vintage Story blew up in the last year in terms of its popularity and has been around for some time, so Tyron clarified clarifies that this announcement will not affect the current game and all the things that have made Vintage Story stand out as its own independent project. Apparently, several very high-profile devs applied to the team after this post, and I'm not surprised because if you didn't know, the Hytale team was stacked. Game dev veterans who've worked on the biggest projects in gaming, from most of the titles you're already thinking of without me saying name. Tyron revealed more in a post titled Vintage Story Adventure Mode, which he later clarified is a work in progress name. He ran through a number of important questions about his plan. To be brief about it though, because it's a long post and I plan to talk to Tyron soon, he says we'll be starting small, 3 to 4 people, and expand once the project shows merit and gathers interest. As it's more manageable and more effective, you can even pivot quicker when it comes to a small team. The new mode would depart significantly in aesthetics, setting, and game mechanics compared to the current Vintage Story, more focused towards fantasy and adventure RPG compared with the gritty realism-based nature of the current game. He says, personally, I'd love to see some elves and dwarves in there, so just to give you an idea. He says it would come packaged with Vintage Story 2 for now for no additional cost, but if it ever did get big, they could always spin it off into its own game. They plan to be very open about this development, and that both game modes overall will benefit from things like combat and improved enemies and NPCs. He said it's a bold move, yes, but they're confident in building something engaging for the players. Then, for anyone saying this new mode should be a completely separate project from the get-go, Tyron says this would prevent them from sharing code between both projects, decreasing the symbiotic benefit we can get from this. The rest of the post is mostly just him rationalizing to the current Vintage Story players why working on this separate game mode wouldn't take away from the current Vintage Story or its content updates. He does add when challenged that if Hytale failed, then his project might also fail, stating it's definitely within the realm of possibility. But here's a number of reasons why I strongly doubt that or why this is a low impact. 1. The company grows sustainably, we don't hire above our means. 2. I already pulled off a commercially successful game and learned a lot in the process, I'm confident I can do it again. 3. We are willing to ship imperfect, flawed products and improve them over time because the alternate is never shipping. 4. There is a symbiotic effect to this, both projects can benefit from this development. And 5. Most of all, we don't live off debt. We have a continuous revenue stream. Imagine if I would have never started Vintage Story in the first place because I was afraid it would fail. None of this would have existed either. Many companies become risk averse and stagnate or try to deliver the perfect product and fail. This right here is our opportunity to do something right. As for Hytale, Tyron says, we are reaching out to the Hytale community and its developers as they too truly and deeply believed in Hytale. This is a chance to maybe at least partially keep that dream alive. We are all in the same boat here. We're all gamers desiring to dive into different game worlds with all our senses to escape reality for a few moments in time. Why can't we? Why shouldn't we peacefully coexist? Why shouldn't we help each other? When I worked for Hytale in 2015, I really felt their passion for what they were working on. The team there really believed in the work they did. It was also this very experience that gave me the confidence to start Vintage Story in the first place. It was Noxy that saw my work on the World Gen and handed an olive branch to me, believed in my skills to work on their project. Vintage Story might never have seen the light of day without Hytale. Now it's my turn to hand them an olive branch. It is the least I can do. Honestly, a genuinely nice sentiment from the Vintage Story team and Tyron himself. As I mentioned, I will be speaking with him more about this project as I'm quite interested in it myself. And while Simon vigorously believes that Hytale's vision can only be achieved the way they had it laid out in the legacy version, we know that the chances of him making a deal with Riot are slim. The Hytale website recently began slowly shutting down, assets disappearing in certain regions, likely because it's been taken offline and we're just left with cached versions of everything now. Don't worry, we did have everything saved anyway. Some people are getting worried about this, but it really isn't a major cause for concern either, as it makes sense they'd shut down the site along with the company. Simon can very well just make a new site. This isn't a sign that Riot has doubled down on never releasing Hytale. This was always going to happen from the moment Hypixel Studios shut down, whether Riot renews the game in a couple of months or not. Make sure to subscribe for more Hytale news and a lot more interesting videos coming soon. I've spent a month working on a whole host of new ideas and content, so, stick with me. I appreciate it. As always, stay safe and keep free.